My name is John Jeffrey. I wrestle for the 120 class. This season, I don't know if I could have asked for a better season. I could tell how much I grew from last season to this season. Last season, I didn't even place in state, and I am proud to say that I placed third in state this year. The kid I had to wrestle for third and fourth, he beat me 8 times before that last match. He was actually my one loss at state in the quarterfinals, but then I wrestled back up to get into third and fourth, and I had to wrestle that same kid, and I finally got him by the end of the year. I was super happy about it. But other than that, my record this year, I'm really happy with that. Went 45-11, and last year it's way better than last year's. I'm excited for next year to come. The one thing that wrestling has taught me is that working hard it proves that it'll make you better. The harder you work, the better you get. And that showed with me this year because I worked pretty hard through the off season and ended up third at state.
Mason Schloop, 170, and I'm a senior this year. The season was pretty well. I feel like I could have done a lot better. I did a little mess ups that I wish I shouldn't have done, but we still did hard during the season. And state, I think I did pretty good. My first round, I had Trey Lewis, and I got him on his back for 2 points, which I'm pretty proud of that, and he placed second. So I did pretty good. And then my second round, I pinned the kid, and I thought I did pretty good this year, especially in state.
What's the one thing that wrestling taught you this year?
A lot of things, basically. Just keep calm and take a deep breath, and everything will go all right. And just keep taking deep breaths, and you'll do fine, and you'll get there eventually.
My name is Bokker Graveman, and I am a freshman, and I wrestled at 126 at the state tournament. Overall, first day I got beat out. I went 1-2. I thought I wrestled pretty well, but I was pretty disappointed with how I did. I would have liked to have done better and just wrestled the best I could, and that's all I can really ask for. Overall, we had, I think, 7 boys go, and that's pretty good for this year, knowing that we had a second-year wrestler make it to state, which is very impressive. And we had one guy place third. He did really well, ended up beating a kid that he's lost to all year. Just overall, we had a really good year. We had a lot of growth with all of our kids. We got better as a team, and we became closer friends. The season was great. I was really happy with how it ended and just happy with how I did. But next year I'll come back, and I'm going to be on that podium next year. The one thing wrestling has taught me is that hard work will get you places. Hard work will get you anywhere that you want to be. If you want to, say you have a goal, if you want to achieve that goal, you're not going to get it through being lazy and just sitting around. You need to put the work in to get to that goal with what you want to do. So it's taught me that you need to work hard at things you want to do in life, and that not everything comes easy.
Hello, I'm Daga Rodriguez, and I'm a high school senior, and my weight class was 132 for this year. I am a state qualifier, and unfortunately I got beat out the first day, but it was a fun experience since this is my second year wrestling, and I'm glad to have made it to the state tournament, despite only wrestling for 2 years. I think it was fun. I really enjoyed wrestling these past 2 years. It's taught me a lot about just life in general and just working hard towards a goal that I want to achieve. And the team here at Spearfish is very good. There are a lot of young guys that I think can have a good shot at winning state. And these past 2 years, I've just got really good friends with a bunch of them, and it's really just kind of like a family. And the coaches do very well to help me out and try to help me succeed at wrestling, as well as the rest of the team. I would say one thing that wrestling taught me this year is to work towards a goal, no matter what the obstacles are that in the way, because for wrestling, at times it can be hard to try to push yourself through a match, but you gotta just keep going and keep fighting towards the goal of winning that match. And that also just applies into real life too, because no matter what you want to do, you should strive to achieve that goal.
My name is Jacob Ellingson. I'm a sophomore at Spearfish High School, and I wrestle 160 pounds. And I think we've had a really good season this year. We have a really young team, so it's good to be looking forward to see how well we're going to be doing in future years. And at the state tournament, we had 7 straight qualifiers, I believe, and one state placer, our 120-pounder, John Jeffrey. And it was a really good experience just going there with most of the team and having that experience under my belt as a sophomore. The one thing wrestling taught me this year is that you have to overcome the burnout and the boredom mid-season and keep the grind on, because the end of the season is really where it matters. Just keep up the intensity and keep on pushing hard and make it till the end of the season to do your best.
Our guest is John Bokker, the Spearfish High School boys wrestling coach, and another season in the books.
Yeah, it was a really interesting season. We started off young this year. I knew we were going to be lacking those upperclassmen, and we were going to take our lumps this year. We only had 2 seniors this year and 1 junior, and then pretty much everybody else was, freshmen and sophomores. We actually had 6 freshmen starting in our lineup this year. So a really young team.
Kind of nice having the state tournament right here in Rapid City.
Oh, yeah, especially with the weather. I mean, every year it seems like we get weather during the state tournament, and having it here was very beneficial for us, for sure. Yeah, we qualified 7 guys for the state tournament. Only one of those guys was seeded, John Jeffrey. So I knew those other 6 guys were going to have that tough first-round match, especially being drawn in. We did get some, number 2 and number 3 seeds we had to see right off the bat. Then coming back, I thought all of the guys could probably win their next one, and then that blood round match was going to be tough with those guys dropping down from the quarters. I knew that was going to be a real tough one. Aiden Crott coming into the state tournament, or actually regions, he was out of wrestling for about a month and a half. He was wrestling amazing right around January. In Heidegger, he actually took second at that tournament against some really tough guys and hurt his foot. So coming back to regions, he had a long road ahead of him, and he qualified for state. So at 145, he went into state with about a month off, and I was a little worried about him, but he lost that first match, came back, won the second one, and then that third one we thought was going to be a real close one, and it was a barn burner for that one. So Aiden Crott, he's going to expecting big things out of him in the future for sure. Dago Rodriguez at 132, he was a second-year senior. Really happy to get him into the state tournament. I thought that was pretty amazing. He beat a Douglas guy that he went rounds with earlier in the year, and qualifying for state for him was an amazing thing. I was really hoping to get a win out of him, but guy that wasn't supposed to win dropped down in that first round, and we had that tough second round match too there. Then at 160, Jacob Ellingson, he's one of our team captains. He's been wrestling amazing all year long. We went in unseeded, obviously. Had a match coming back I thought we could win. We ended up being on the wrong side of that one, but he's probably going to be up in the room this week wrestling and get ready for next year, because, that's the kind of guy he is. Then at 170, Mason Schloop, senior. He's been to state tournament before. He's actually he's a 5-year letter winner. So I was hoping to get him up on the podium for that state tournament, but he ended up losing his first round match, won that second one, and then went out in the blood round. So it was kind of a sad end for him. I was hoping to get him up on that podium for sure. Asher Peel at 220, he wrestled his tail off. He had to wrestle the number 2 guy right away, and then we had 2 seniors coming back through and when you're a 220-pound freshman and you get on the bottom, it's really a tough thing, especially with the strength. And he's a little bit underweight too, but had an amazing season. I'm really proud of him. He's going to do some really big things in the future. Then at 126, Parker Graveman, he lost his first match, won his second one, and then we had the Sturgis guy that we've been wrestling all year, having one overtime match, close matches with him, and we ended up on the wrong side of that one too. Parker he lost 5 or 6 of his matches this year by 1 or 2 points, so definitely expecting big things out of him in the future. And then at 120, John Jeffrey was seated 5th. We had beat the number 3 guy twice. The number 4 guy from Sturgis, we lost to him 8 times, and we'd never beat him before, and we knew we were going to be seeing him probably in the quarterfinals. So when we wrestled in the quarterfinals, it was tied with 10 seconds left, and he took us down. So after that match, we really prepared because we knew we were going to see him in for third and fourth again on that road back. That actually happened to us, I think, in 4 other tournaments this year. So John had 11 losses this year, and 8 were the same guy. But when we came back for third and fourth, John wrestled an amazing match. Strategically, couldn't have been better, and we ended up on top. So that was the one. I always tell him that's the one that really mattered, because that's at the state tournament. So John ended up walking away with third, beating a guy that beat him 8 times this year. So pretty amazing end to his year, and then he's coming back his senior year too. So looking forward to the future with our young team. We're going to be good for the next couple of years, and as long as we can keep those guys out, we're going to be amazing.
Sounds like you got a great team coming back.
Yeah, we have 12 freshmen coming back for next year. We have 7 sophomores, and then we only have 1 junior, and then we have a handful of 8th graders that I think are going to make an impact as their freshman year next year too. Looking forward to it. I'd really like to thank my assistant coaches this year. I had some things going on at home, so Corey Newhart really stepped it up this year. I'm so appreciative of him. Trent Olson, he was a first-year coach for me, did amazing. Max Donovan, he took over the head coaching position in the middle school, so my assistant coaches are amazing. Jacob Ellingson's dad, Scott, stepped in. Another guy named David Jensen came in and helped us out too, and then Taylor and Parker's dad, Shane, really helped out a lot this year. So I'm so appreciative of my assistant coaches. A lot of times they get overlooked, and I just want to say that I'm so appreciative of them. And then I want to give a shout out to Joel and Cody. They did an amazing job with the girls this year. Really sad to see Mariah and Taylor graduate. I've been with them their whole career too, and they're going to do amazing things. And it's just kind of a not an end to their career, but an end to their high school career. I'm looking forward to cheering those girls on forever.
Speaking of Mariah and Taylor, what were your feelings and emotion back when you found out the girls were going to have their own program and be a sanctioned sport?
Oh, I was sad for all the girls leaving, obviously, but I was really happy for them because then they got to lead those girls. They're not sharing the room with the boys. They get to lead those girls and show them, what it's all about. They're kind of, we always say, the pioneers of the sport here in South Dakota because they've been wrestling forever. And it was really a great opportunity for them to be leaders and not just part of the boys. They got to lead the girls.
Congratulations again, Coach Bokker, on a great wrestling season. Great to visit with you.
Yeah, thanks. Always appreciate you.